We are live. Yo, I said 6 o'clock. It's 6:01. I know everybody's going to be surprised. I'm going to let people roll in here as we get started. I'm shooting for 6 p.m. Eastern, you guys, as our daily chats. Okay. I'm shooting for 6 p.m. Eastern for the daily chats. I know it's early on the West Coast, but I feel like I'm going to be at my best, and then we can race some Mario Kart or something afterwards. So shooting for 6 p.m. Eastern. That's the tentative time, pending everything works out. Okay. So mark it on your calendars. I'm gonna be making the thumbnails in the morning and getting the stream ready to go. So it's gonna be fun. And we've got a fun topic today. We're going to be talking about if the price killed your hype for Mario Kart World. Just where's everybody's hype level at for Mario Kart World? And I got a few things I want to speculate about. And so I'm going to hit the intro and then we will get started. So here we go. Okay, well, let's talk about Mario Kart World. I'm honestly so excited for this game. So excited. I see Ryan is here. What is going on? Welcome on in. I've been waiting a long time for this game, you know? And so do I love everything about it based on what we've been shown? I'll be honest, no. There's certain aspects of it that I'm like, I hope this gimmick works. You know? I hope it works out. I'm gonna rewind this real quick. What if you're only listening, I do apologize, but like, what is that? What is that right there with the hammer? I'm assuming that's like baby, like one of the babies. Let's take this full screen real quick. Look at the characters. Who is next to Mario right there? What are we looking at? What is that? You guys have to let me know in the chat. What I'm assuming it's a baby Mario or a baby Luigi. I see yellow. Is it a baby Wario? Is that what that is? I'm a busted Mickey Mouse, Ryan says. Yes. Let's see. A player one. What's going on? Gaming lover. Welcome on in, guys. Yeah. Like, is somebody wearing a Diddy Kong costume? Is that what's happening there? So I don't know, just kind of interesting. I was like, that it just caught my eye out of the blue. So right there, we get to see. I'm gonna talk a little bit. Like I don't feel like this is being negative necessarily. It's just my preference. I personally don't care for the standard kart design in this game. Like, now that could change if it's based on like more like real world go-karts and how they look now. Like if that's the case and it's literally like a modern looking go-kart, then I'm fine with it. I loved the style from 8, and it has grown on me some. I'm not gonna lie. Like it has grown on me some, but initially I was like, I don't know that I love I don't know that I love it all that much. Now I love, like, there's some details here, like you can see the M logo is kind of flopping up, right? And so Gaming Lover says the standard kart is definitely more go-kart like, just like in the Mario movie. Yes, it does. It does look more like that's what I was thinking too. When I initially saw it, I was like, this looks more like the kart from the movie. And so if this is kind of what standard karts look like, I get it. I understand. And so that's fine. I think they've always tried to keep the standard karts looking somewhat like karts. You know, they veered away a little bit, at least for like the cover of the game for like DS with the B Dasher, you know, because that thing, I don't think that looks more like a race car than a go-kart. Still cool design. Don't get me wrong. Super excited to see it's in this game. You know, I think it's the little like those circles on the side of the standard kart that I'm like, I think that may be what I just don't jive with that much. The great thing is the pipe frames here, I don't have to worry about it. You know, right now, all I'm doing is crossing my fingers that the pipe frame with Mario is close or is the meta, right? That's the thing for me. I want to be able to time trial in that setup and have it be viable. That's honestly the thing that I'm thinking about the most is the setup I'm going to be using going to be viable for time trials? I hope so. I really, really hope so. Because otherwise, if not, you guys know what we'll do. We'll start pipe trials back up in the Discord, and every week we will vote on tracks, and we will all do the pipe frame for pipe trials. But I'm hoping this time around it is a viable option. Honestly, I hope the majority of the karts are a viable option, and that so many different characters and different karts are the meta this time around. Like, obviously there's still some stats, but I hope there's not like hidden mini turbo stats and stuff like we saw last time. So, okay. I want to talk about something that I haven't seen anybody else talking about. And it's that little scene right here where we kind of think everybody's kind of assuming this is where Rainbow Road is being unlocked. Okay. And you can see this star kind of like shooting up to the sky. Now, I want to try to pause right when this thing enters the frame here. Let's see. I want to try to pause right as it enters the frame. I definitely like gliding this time around. Gaming Lover says, I hope everything is within a certain threshold of each other. No little wheels. Exactly that. Okay. So here we go. As it enters frame. What is this thing? Like, it almost looks like a rocket. Like, I took it back 10 seconds. So I have a theory, you guys. I have a theory, and I'm curious what you guys think about this. Oh, that's strange. I don't think it went back far enough. Yeah, here we go. So we're taking it back just a little bit here. I'm wondering. Okay, so there's Mario hopping in. It's hard to catch this thing like exactly where it's coming in, but it has a very strange shape. It doesn't just look like a star, you know. So here we go. I'm gonna be pausing it a lot just so I can try to capture this thing right here. Oh, okay. What does that look like to you guys? When we pause on that thing right there, like I'll go full screen so you guys can take a look too, but like I don't think I can zoom in any further. But like it almost reminds me of something that like Rosalina would have had in Mario Galaxy. Like it almost reminds me of like I don't know, like a spacecraft from Galaxy or something along those lines. What is this thing for? My theory is this, is that we're going to race this thing potentially in the world. So what I'm thinking is going to happen is that as you're in the open world, and you're doing like the different missions, that maybe once there's X amount of missions completed, you do a race against this thing. Now, it could also just be a cutscene that happens after all the Grand Prix are unlocked in a certain CC. That could totally be the case. But I feel like there's something missing when it comes to what's happening in the world. What is the reason for me to be out there collecting those blue coins, doing these different little missions? What's the carrot on the stick? It can't just be the missions. So I'm wondering if the missions are tied to this thing, and there's going to be a little bit more story, if you will, than what we're anticipating. I'm wondering if they've just kind of done like bird's eye view of this game for everybody, to just kind of like, here's some of the modes, here's some of the characters, but we're not giving away everything. And that could be the case. And I'm hoping that's what's happening too, because I want to see this game have as much content as possible, especially for the price tag. And I've said it before, for me, there's a very real possibility that, doing tips and tricks for this game and putting them on TikTok, putting them on YouTube, like I can make my money back, right? But not everybody has that luxury. I completely understand that. So like, that's part of the reason for me that I'm like, my hype was not hindered by the price. What was a bummer after all this stuff was announced is just watching everybody like kind of be disappointed and not as excited, and just the way the messaging all went down, which we've talked about at length. So to kind of get to the main topic, the main question I see some people are answering right now, I'm going to get into the Discord as well. If you guys want to put your comments in the chat, did the price kill your hype for this game? And to put it another way, if this game had launched at $59.99, would you be more excited based on what you're seeing from the content? Or two, when you look at this game, do you feel like the $80 price tag is justified? I know that every time I watch footage, I get more and more excited to play this game. Like, I can't wait. So I'm beyond hyped, because there are these little nuances within the trailer that you can tell this game is very balanced. Like, they've spent a lot of time balancing this game. And so I'm very excited for that. It is going to be it's going to be, what's funny is I've seen people talking about it, and it's like they feel like everything comes down to items. That's Mario Kart. Mario Kart has come down to items for quite some time. And not that you don't have to keep your racing chops up, but item management is a huge part of Mario Kart. It is a huge part of Mario Kart. So it's going to be very important that you keep track of those items. Make sure that you're not wasting them, not burning through things. Just like in 8, like, it's going to be important to have good item management. One other thing before we get to the chat. I don't know if you guys know this, but there's, and maybe they mentioned it in the direct, I can't remember. You can set the game up to auto put items behind you. Okay. Now, why is that useful? Why would anybody want that? Why would you want to automatically put your green shell behind you? I know for me, I'm going to have that feature turned off. That's what I think anyway. The reason for it is it automatically blocks shells for you, right? But you guys know, anybody that's in there, I know there's quite a few of us in here right now. You guys have raced you guys have raced with me, and you know that I'll hold a coin and a defensive item, green shell, banana peel, whatever the case may be. And if I only have a shell, unless the pack is very close to me, I will not put that shell behind me, because if it's behind me and the blue shell hits me, it destroys my defensive item, also leaving myself open for red shells to hit as well. So that's why I'm thinking, as far as strategy, I don't know if I will have that feature turned on. That being said, the charge jump is going to add a whole new element to this game, meaning there may be moments where you're holding down your defensive item to keep it behind you, and then you're also doing a charge jump with your other hand. And so that, there's going to be more to do, right? So I understand, and it might be the kind of thing that as I practice and get more used to using the charge jump, that I leave that setting on where the items automatically go behind. But it's going to add a whole nother element of skill to this game, because I believe that charge jump is going to be, it's going to be something that you're going to want to master. You're going to want to have a good understanding of when to use it, how to use it, and what is best, when is the best time for it, that kind of stuff. Like as we learn the tracks and we learn the lines and all that stuff, like how frequently is the charge jump going to be used? And we're seeing it on screen right now. Like Nabbit just jumped right on the head of the other character. Like I love it. So let's get into chat. I want to talk about your guys' hype levels. So let's see here. I'm going to scroll up just a little bit. Gaming since the 80s says, no, the price didn't kill it. My hype for Mario Kart World. Awesome. Love to hear that. Didn't kill it. That's great. Fantastic news. I'm doing amazing. Thank you so much for asking. Chrissy Fitz says, I hope so, because it's a bit lackluster for a game that's been in development for possibly 7+ years. And I think that's going back to talking about kind of the bird's eye view of this game. And, like, if again, the whole missions thing, what's the point? Like, this is 2025 from the company that typically puts out peak game design. There's no way they're just sending us on a collectathon in this world. I mean, I guess they did give us Koroks, so maybe it is, but I would assume there's got to be some more depth to the single player experience with this one. Because I mean, don't get me wrong, it's going to be cool exploring the world and checking things out, but like, for what? Now, if it's unlockables, if it's like, hey, clear all of the blue coins, all the P switches, and you're going to unlock this or that or whatever the case is, awesome. But if it's literally just go and clear the P switches for the sake of clear, like, what? Now, if we're out in the world and we're collecting food and that's giving you more costumes as well, yeah, there's that's another part of it. But like, I think anybody that has played like Fortnite or any games that have like, even the older Mario Kart games, you played to unlock stuff, unlock characters, unlock carts. So hopefully at the very least, there's just a ton to unlock, and there's stuff that is only unlocked by completing those missions. I'm hoping. So fingers crossed. That's what happens. So let me keep going here. Gaming Lover says, with game prices going up everywhere, the hype is all around the same for me, no matter the price. Love it. Mario Kart fan through and through. Here we go. Love it. I see Rhombus is here. What's going on? Welcome. Chrissy says, oh, absolutely, I feel like we're taken advantage of because no matter what and no matter how expensive they make it, people are still going to buy it, no matter the scathing price. So Nintendo is going to take advantage of that. So it, yeah, and I mean, we saw game prices getting raised by Xbox, and PlayStation just came out and said we're pushing all of the new expenses with tariffs and everything will be pushed to the consumer, so it doesn't hurt our bottom line. You know, we very much get to see the business side of gaming, and I don't know that a lot of people are used to it or expected it, and so that's just something that we're seeing more of, So, and I know it's not an easy pill to swallow at times. And I know, like, everybody's situation is different, right? Like, there's people on the internet that are just mad because they feel like being mad. It's their next thing to rage about. But then there's people that are like, yo, this is really not in my budget, and I'm really bummed that I'm not going to be playing with everybody. So I understand. Gaming since the 80s. And I mean, if 80 is too much for some gamers, I fully understand this. I would advise those to pre-order the Switch 2 Mario Kart World Bundle. You'll save at least 30. Yeah, if that is an option. And again, I've mentioned it, but Best Buy has said that they are going to have extra Switches in store at the midnight release. So keep that in mind. And then going back to talking about the automatic shell item, like automatic item use, Chrissy says, I won't have it turned on. I prefer to have the choice on how I use my items. Me too. Rumbus Labs says, Mario Kart isn't a system seller for me. If the bundle is available, then I'll get it. I wish Metroid Prime had a release date. I'm not sure what I would buy a Switch 2 for yet. Optimistic though. And hey, absolutely nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with waiting. If Mario Kart's not moving the needle for you, I mean, I get it. Cyberpunk, you might have played on another console, or just doesn't interest you. Totally understand it. Next up, we have Eric Jacobson says, not being able to pre-order a Switch 2 killed my hype. I've moved to the mindset of picking one up when it's more readily available. If the price goes up anymore, I'll pass. Gotcha. Totally understandable. Completely understandable. And it's gonna be interesting to watch this stuff. And if you guys tune into the news episode that I'm going to be doing, there's even some comments from the president of Nintendo talking about, like, how many systems are going to move at this price point. There's some new quotes out there from him. So it's going to be interesting. There's also some some rumors, I guess, if you want to call them that, about how much the Switch is costing, how much it costs to manufacture the Switch 2, which, according to the numbers, is coming in around $334, which I think Nintendo Prime did he had a tweet about it. I think that broke it down to like Nintendo after retail and all that, like dealing with retail and all that stuff. I think Nintendo may come out at $45. I don't have the tweet up in front of me, so we'll have to wait and see if any of this stuff gets confirmed. But that's not a huge it's not a huge profit, but it is still a profit. And again, if some companies sell their systems at a loss because they know how much software they're going to move, but that's typically not Nintendo. So, Girthquake says, do you have any predictions for Mario's 40th? Let's do that on tomorrow's show. Guys, tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern, right here on YouTube, that'll be our discussion. We will talk about the 40th anniversary of Super Mario Brothers and see see what we all come up with for predictions there. Rumbus Labs says this release is odd compared to Switch 1. Tough to top that with Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey, Splatoon 2, Mario Kart all during the first year. It's tough to clear that bar ever. And third parties are on board now, right? So it's a completely different look. It's a very healthy Nintendo. But what tends to happen historically is when the companies are at the top, they typically fall on the system after it. The exception is the PS5. Like this is the exception, the PS5. So, and that system came out at $100 more than the PlayStation 4. So the market is saying we can handle this price. Is that going to be true for Nintendo? Only time will tell. When it comes to the launch, I don't know that we'll ever see something as amazing as the first year of Switch 1, because Nintendo had no choice. They had to show up, and they had to show up big to prove that they had something that the consumer wanted. And that ended up being the case, right? I mean, they're on track to potentially sell the most consoles in history, which is crazy. It's crazy. So yeah, tough act to follow. No question there. If you guys are watching this after the fact, make sure to let me know in the comments how your hype level is. Again, I'm gonna kind of close it out with this, that like I'm super hyped for this game. I'm super hyped for what it's going to mean for the community, what kind of community like play dates or community events that Nintendo is going to put on with this game. I think it's going to have a very healthy and very active esports side of things. I think, you know, I know firsthand Nintendo pushes esports in schools, in high schools, probably middle schools as well. My cousin was even a coach at one time for like Smash and Splatoon and I think League of Legends, you know, but Nintendo's in there with their games. So where I know I'm going to have the most fun is first and foremost with you guys, with the community. Second of all, doing time trials. I've been a time trials fan since the first game. And I am going to essentially, I want to kind of like, I'm hoping to kind of get into like the speed running side of things, if you will, for this game, where I will like no life a single track over and over again, trying to get within that top 10 spot. And that's super fun for me. Like I love giving myself those kind of challenges. So I'm very excited about that. That's going to be years of game time for me, because once you get one where you get it really dialed down, then you move to the next one. And again, it takes forever to really, really get good. So a couple more comments and then we'll wrap this thing up here. Player One, MGA, says Nintendo needs to put out good first-party games for it to be a successful system. No question. No question. And I think they're off to a strong start for me with Donkey Kong, with Mario Kart World. I think it looks great. Girthquake says, I don't have friends to play Mario Kart World with. Jump into the Discord. We're gonna be playing a lot. Jump into the Discord. You'll make some friends real quick. Awakening says, I'm confused on the Switch 2 only having those digital cart codes or similar games. Will similar games be on regular carts? So as of right now, we're pretty sure all first-party games are regular carts. CD Projekt Red is using a 64 gig cart for Cyberpunk, but then outside of that, it's cheaper. And we're gonna do a follow-up episode to that, or I'm gonna at least do a video about it, because I've been seeing a lot of comments because I wanted to understand why people were so bent out of shape, and I have got some good answers on why that is the case. So I'm excited to jump back into that and just get another perspective, because I'm not really bothered by it, but other people really are, and I think they have valid points, you know. And really, what's very important to me when it comes to all of these shows and everything is the community's voice, and you guys getting to share your thoughts, your opinions. And even if you don't agree with mine, I don't care. Like, we can disagree on stuff and still be friends. That I know that's a crazy concept sometimes for the internet, but that's how I like to do things. So it's okay if we don't agree. I like to have the conversation around it and look at different perspectives. So that is going to do it for this one, you guys. Thank you so much. Remember, 6 p.m. Eastern. I'm shooting for Monday through Friday, where we'll sit down for at least 30 minutes and talk about one topic. Tomorrow's episode is going to be all about the 40th anniversary Super Mario Brothers and what we think we're going to see. So make sure to tune in, give that some thought throughout the day, and make sure to have your answers when we go live tomorrow night. Appreciate you all, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye now.